there, I'm Lance and I'm a gamer.
And I'm Sam and I'm a non-gamer.
And we are Love to Hate, where we try to help gamers find great games to play with non-gamers.
And today we're taking a look at Tabriz by Crafty Games.
Tabriz comes from designer Randy Flynn, who was 2022 Spiel des Jahres winner with Cascadia, and he's back at it again, this time with Tabriz, which is a worker placement resource management type game with a little bit of spatial elements where your workers are at. The theme here is that you are a carpet weaver in the city of Tabriz, Persia, and so you are going to be gaining different resources trying to make different carpets. It's an order fulfillment game. Let me show you how it works down below, and then we'll come back and share our thoughts on it as a gamer and non-gamer. All right, here's Tabriz from Crafty Games and Randy Flynn. Now, I do want to let you know everything you see in this portion of the video is prototype. The final artwork, components, and rules may change once it's released from crowdfunding. Now, this is a very long board, as you can see, and so I am going to have to move the camera around so that you get a good angle of all of the components here while I explain the rules to you. Now, the theme for this is that you are a carpet weaver in the city of Tabriz. Here is your particular carpet weaver for the blue player anyhow. You're going to have a player board here to hold all of your resources as well as keep track of your skill. That's what this track right here is, all the way to from 1 to 14. And you are going to have 3 assistants that you move about the city, following these footpaths here to visit the different shops and booths to be able to gain resources so that you can weave together your carpets. Speaking of resources, you do have a number of resources here. You've got your white wool, your green plant dye, your yellow camel hair, your red carmine dye, and your purple silk cubes. You also have money in this game, 1s, 5s, and 10s. You do have some cards as well, and that is what you have in this game. Now, how this game works, everybody is going to start the game here at the city center, and you are going to take turns. Someone will be the active player, the start player for that round, and they will get to move one of their assistants first. Now, you can start by moving from this spot right here. You can move 3 spaces, again, following these footpaths in any direction. And once you stop your movement, you have to take an action. So I might go 1, 2, and 3, for instance. And I would then put my worker down, and I could take an action at the particular spot that I'm at. And then it would be the next player's turn, and they would move their worker so many spaces, and then it would be the next person's turn, again, starting here, maybe they go there, and then it would come back to me, and I would take another one of my actions. We would do this round and round until we've used all 3 of our workers, and then that would be the end of the round. So, what are you trying to do at these different booths, and why are these resources here in this game? Well, you start the game with 2 of these brown cards. I know I have 3 here, but you are going to start with 4, and you're going to choose 2 to keep and 2 to give back. So what are on these cards? Well, you are going to see a number of resources listed at the top. Now, that's what you're going to need to be able to complete this particular carpet. I need 2 white wool cubes, 2 green plant cubes, and 2 yellow camel hair cubes. And when I have that at any point on one of my turns, I can cash them in to be able to get what is here on this yellow bar. I would get $8, 1 skill, and 1 victory point. Now, obviously, you can understand what money is. Now, the skill here, that's back down here on our player board. You've got this skill track right here, and you do have a skill piece. Mine is way over here. Let me grab that real quick. You have this, looks like a broom, a little bit, a brush. You are going to move that on down this line here, and every time you pass one of the even numbers, you're going to gain one of these benefits. And the benefits are that you are going to be able to gain higher versions of the carpet cards, both the red median cards and the blue high value cards. You're going to be able to unlock those throughout the course of the game. You're going to be able to increase your movement of your workers. You're going to be able to draw more cards when you visit the city center. You're going to be able to complete more than 1 card on a turn. And then when you get way down here, you're just going to get straight victory points. And you do keep track of those victory points right here on the top of this bar. And that's pretty much what you need. You need victory points to win the game. Now, not only are you going to gain what's in this bar right here, but you will also gain what's in the white portion right here at the beginning of every one of your turns. And what you'll do is you'll take this card and you'll actually tuck it underneath the board here, like so, and you will gain whatever is listed sticking out there. So I would gain $2 at the beginning of every turn. Here's another example of what a card could look like. If I can just get 7 white cubes, I can cash that in for $6, 1 skill, and 1 point, and it will give me $1 every round. And that's pretty much the gist of the game. Now, the different shops are going to work in different ways, and I'm not going to be able to explain all of the different shops to you. Just know that the ones that run horizontally, these are going to be shops that you're going to be purchasing cubes from. The way this works is you can buy 1 cube for $1 at this particular booth, 2 cubes for $2, or 3 cubes for $3. You can also buy 4 or more, that's what this plus sign here says, for $4. So when I come here, there's 4 cubes here, and I could buy all four of them for $4. However, if I just wait maybe another turn, there might be more cubes out here, and I could still buy all of the cubes here for $4. So it's in your interest, your best interest, to maybe wait to buy resources. And resources are going to come off of this from right to left when people buy them. And then at the beginning of a round, you're going to put this number of resources in the booth. So I would add 3 more to this at the beginning of a round, like so. And then if nobody were to buy anything from this booth, and we still only had 2 open spots, we don't have enough spots to add 3 at the beginning of the next round. This X here indicates that when that happens, you actually take everything out of the booth, and the booth is closed for that particular round. You aren't going to be able to get that resource at this booth. A lot of the other booths work the same way. As you can see, that there are some that you can have the option of purchasing one of 2 different types at that particular booth. These vertical ones, these are going to be traders. And so how this works is when you come here, you can pick one of these 3 options, and you can trade whatever you have on the left side for what is available on the right side. But again, you only can pick one of these. So if I come here and I could do this top one, I could trade a green in for a yellow, and I could do that up to 6 times. All the other vertical ones work the same way. And then the other types of booths that you have here, you're going to have some that have dice at them, and each of these are going to work differently, but this one in particular, you would roll the die, you would add a green to this spot here, and then you would pay the price of one of the highest valued items here, which in this case is red. I would pay $4, and I would gain everything that's on this card. So this is one that builds up over time and gets better and better, but if you don't get there in time, you're going to miss out on that. This is a purple booth, but the purple booth works just the same as all of the other shops. It just looks a little bit different. And then we have another dice one here, and this particular dice one, I'll cover this one real quick. So you're going to roll these dice at the beginning of every round, and you can purchase everything that's on these dice for the prices listed here, or you can swap one of these dice out with one of the other dice. You can see here that we do have 3 different types of dice. Your black dice are your least valuable, gray is the median value, white is the highest value, and that's because the white die has the purple resource, which is the hardest one to come by. Anyhow, you can swap one of these dice out, you can roll it, and then you can purchase what is on these 3 dice here. And that's how all of these shops work. Again, you're going to be passing the first player token around and around. The game is going to end either when somebody reaches 14 skill on this track right here, getting to the very end, or when somebody completes their ninth carpet card, at which point that will signify that that is going to be the last round. That player also will receive the 2-point bonus, and then you just count to see who has the most victory points. And whoever that is the winner, and that's how you play Tabriz. Now, there is also an advanced variant deck of cards that you can add to this game that will give you a little bit of asymmetry setup abilities to spice things up. Something you can check out if you want that extra spice in the game. Also, the shop tiles are double-sided. There's a more advanced side to these tiles, and I'll leave you to figure that out when you look at the Game Found campaign page. As it is, that's how you play Tabriz. Let's go back up top and share our thoughts on this game. And we're back, and now we're going to share our thoughts on Tabriz from a gamer and non-gamer's perspective. And real quick, this is running on Game Found, so make sure to check out the Game Found link down below in the description of this video so that you can go and back it now that you know more about it. So Sam, first impression, seeing this out on the table, what'd you think of it?
I mean, it's very colorful, and the resources it's unique because not every place has the same amount of resources.
Yeah.
There's a lot of iconography, but it's very easy to understand. I think they did a really good job with that.
Yeah, I think the way that the market is made up in this game with the different shops and how you can purchase things, but like Sam said, not everything has things available to you. They're different prices. Different shops have different prices for the same items, or you're trading things. It's a really unique kind of setup for resource management with this game. Let's talk about the gameplay experience, Sam. You as a non-gamer, what was it like for you navigating yourself through this game?
I mean, like I said, the iconography is really easy to understand, and I thought that the gameplay was pretty straightforward as well. There are things that I didn't necessarily pay attention to right away. The cards are very easy to understand. I think I was in the order fulfillment mindset. I wanted to get what was on the card without necessarily paying attention to everything each card got you, because you do kind of build a machine with your cards, but some of them don't have anything on them. All of them are going to give you something, money, a point,
resources,
but they don't necessarily go into your machine.
Right. Your engine is developed out of these cards. And so, yeah, what Sam's talking about there, part of your strategy in this game is understanding what are good cards to complete and what maybe aren't so good cards to complete. Because even though it maybe gets you closer to getting those 2 bonus points, being the first person to complete 9 cards,
it may not give you anything in your engine. And some of them, you can get a green item every time we have a new round. That's really good. Some of them you can trade in 2 whites, which are pretty, you get a lot of those for 1 red.
Yeah.
And so just thinking about that, and I did start paying attention to it towards the end, because at the end I'm like, okay, I need one that's going to get me 2 points, because I was 2 points behind Lance, or 1 point behind Lance. And so you kind of have to pay attention to that a little bit.
And the thing about this game is that points are not abundant in this game. They're actually kind of hard to come by. And so not all cards give you points. And when you come across one that does give you points, that's pretty valuable. And so you really kind of have to weigh out which are good cards to complete and which aren't. And it's sometimes in your best interest to keep coming back to the city center to get more cards, so that you have more options to weigh out as far as which ones you want to complete or not. I like that aspect of this game. It's a straightforward in the sense of the rules and understanding how to play the game, but it's not straightforward in the sense of, well, what's the best way to go about doing this?
Yeah.
It would look like it on the surface, I just need to get X, Y, and Z and spend X, Y, and Z to get whatever points or whatever, but that's not always the case with this game. So let's talk about the fun factor with this. I think you guys at home maybe have already kind of picked up the way we're really kind of excited talking about this game. But Sam, how fun was this game for you?
I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was, it's a good game for gamers and non-gamers. I think it's challenging enough for a gamer. I think it's straightforward enough for a non-gamer. Lance had actually played this game prior to playing it with me, and I still was able to beat him. Barely. I beat him by 1. But I think that that's typically a good sign of a good game for 2 different types of people.
It's what I would say is an extremely competitive game, because the point spread in this game from beginning to end is going to be pretty narrow. And so, 1 or 2 things are going to determine who is the one who ends up winning this game. And because of that, everybody feels like they're still invested and still involved in this. And you're like I said, you're scratching and clawing for these points. And it's not so much so that you feel like, well, I'm never going to get any points. No, you always feel like you're right on the edge of being able to complete a card, and you have the resources. You just need one more thing to go your way kind of experience. And I really like that. It keeps me on the edge of my seat the entire time.
Yeah.
So I think the thing that we're saying to you guys out there is that this is a highly entertaining, highly competitive game that works great for gamers and non-gamers alike. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I think that's a pretty rare find in today's gaming world, in the sense that a lot of games work great for gamers, or they work great for non-gamers, but not so much for both parties at the same time.
Yeah.
And I think you really have that here with Tabriz. So that's our simple, quick thoughts here on Tabriz. It's from Crafty Games. As I mentioned, it is running on GameFound, so make sure to check out that GameFound campaign link down below. And leave us some comments down below in the description of this video.
Make sure to like and subscribe and push that bell button so you get notifications of all our new content.
I'm Lance.
I'm Sam.
And we are Love to Hate, where we try to bridge the gap between gamers and non-gamers. We'll catch you next time.